Sound Gaming. Uh, this week we are going to take a look at the Steamroller that me and Dan attended this weekend. It was 100 points, it was two lists, and it was held by yourself.
Yep, yep. It was a little old me. Run it. We had a great cross gaming event. So we had three systems played at the Chancellor Bunker, and yeah, it was really good. I loved it. It was great to see everyone. It was our first 100-point event. 8 players turned up with beautifully painted armies for the most part, and yeah, we had a really good time. It was nice and
Fantastic.
relaxed too.
First thing, which is the most thing. Oh, sorry, Dan. There's a bit of echo. I think you may, but no, it's all good. It's all good. We had a full start. I thought we had started. We hadn't started, so we've done this before.
We've done this twice. We've done this intro twice now. So the 4-minute delay was actually really productive for us until 4 minutes in. We're like, oh, we're not actually live.
Yeah, and that is only my fault. So apologies to everyone. Hopefully, outside of that, there'll be no technical issues. We have got YouTube chat on the right. We have got Dan in the top left. We have got me in the bottom left. We've got my cool logo in the middle. I can click stuff. Nothing's going to minimize. We are in the 21st century, and we're ready to talk Warmachine.
As a pro YouTuber, you're gonna get your plaque soon, aren't you?
Yeah. I've been contacted by a few agents and that, but I'm gonna keep humble for now. You know how it is. So first, the main question is, how are you, Dan? Are you all good?
I'm good. Yeah, really enjoyed Saturday. Really enjoyed my day. Today's been nice. I've done some bits with family. Spent some time with that after yesterday playing some toy soldiers all day. And yeah, looking forward to talking about the event, talking about some hot list action, talking about some secret tech. And talking about obviously how it went down, some of the hilarious moments. I think that's one thing that came from yesterday was the amount of times people just burst into tears laughing at how. Yeah, and then also talking about our games in between rounds.
Sure,
yeah, it's great fun.
You can explain how Ghostly works to me properly. So yeah, awesome. How was your week this week? Generally, all good?
Yeah, really good. I didn't get a chance to play a game, but I was trying to get some terrain set up or sorted for the event. I've got some more terrain now, thanks to Mark. And yeah, we'll be painting that up. One thing we had at the Chelsea Bunker is we don't really have a great amount of Warmachine terrain. We've got some sort of fantasy-esque parts, but we're trying to move away from just 2D terrain to having the 3D element on top, as we spoke before. And hopefully I hope you enjoyed playing on the tables. I hope it worked out well. But welcome to happy to have feedback as always.
Awesome. Yeah. I play Warmachine last week. I gave a demo game on Wednesday because I was always going to play Matt. He couldn't make it, and then there was only 3 of us, and one Steve from Flesh and Blood. There was 3 of us, and he was up for a demo game, so we sort of, rather than play the proper 100-point, we gave Steve a demo game. On
Nice.
Tuesday, I played sort of another demo game. Sort of, it was 50 points, but the person I was playing is still getting back into the game, so they're sort of going through the motions. So got a few games in the week, and then also a lovely weekend. Tom said, "Winning your own event, Dan. Dan conquered everything." True. True.
Spoilers, but we'll get to.
Ah, that's okay.
We'll get to.
Yeah, he had an easy final round, so it was all right. So awesome. Yeah, so we had a fantastic weekend. I think the cross system in one room worked very well. We had Blood Bowl. What was it? Kill Team.
Us,
yeah. Quite well. We've got a few friends that play multiple systems, and there was a few friends that weren't playing Warmachine but were in the room, so we could sort of catch up with them, say hello. I think all the events run well and everyone seems happy.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So let's get into the Steamroller. So it was 100 points. It was 2 lifts optional, so you could bring 2. No longer have to play both. I don't think that's ever an option in Steamroller now that you have to play both.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I brought 2. You brought 2. I think everyone.
Only one person brought 1, and that was Mike, because his delivery from Steamforge hadn't turned up, so he had a last minute adding a big pig that he managed to borrow off of Rid, which was nice of him, and he seemed to have a really good time and enjoyed sort of playing that higher level that he hadn't had it
Nice. Yeah.
previously done, and hopefully when he'll probably get his delivery on Tuesday because it's bank holiday here in the UK on Monday, and yeah, he'll probably be smashing out the painting, and he'll have even more K-Door to wreck face.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike was the newest player by far, and I suppose
Yeah,
I think we could say Mark and Robbie. Mark is newer, and Robbie
yeah,
sort of is, I'd say, very out of practice. Doesn't get to play much. I think he might have played like 4 games of Mark 4. Then I think you've sort of got everyone else really that then sort of knows how Mark 4
yeah,
works fully. Um, Excellent. So round one, we'll just crack on with that. I've got long shanks
yeah.
up if you want to bring it up in round one.
Awesome. Yeah,
The scenario we
brilliant.
played was best laid plans.
Yeah, best scenario as
Internet
voted.
internet is
Internet's
not
wrong.
a fan
Huggy's
of best
wrong.
laid plans.
Well, it's okay because lots of things on the internet are wrong, including other people's opinions, apparently. So we all loved Best Laid Pans. I think everyone in the room had a fantastic time with it, and they all were saying, Dan and Aaron, you were so right to choose Best Laid Pans as
Yeah.
the S tier scenario.
No,
Looking at the
it
result,
only got A, I think. Wolves was S, right?
oh
Only
yeah,
A.
maybe, yeah. But I mean, it's pretty good. Um,
Largely disagreed with.
Yeah, so obviously your game, the end of your game was a bit unusual, but we had to look through the packet to double check something. Don't you want to go ahead and talk about that first?
Yeah, sure. So I think the structure is we'll go through our games as we show them going through the rounds, and then we'll go through the top 3 lists.
Yeah,
So for interestingly, out of all these games, there was 3 caster kills and 1 concession. It's quite interesting. I didn't notice that before. So lots of caster
yeah,
death was going on. So I played Orid. I had on me Captain Firequill at a very shooty list, and I had Bragan Ragemonger, a bit more of a brawler list with high armor in melee, and Red
yeah,
had Horusk, which was like an absolute meat mountain. I think like 2 Warjacks, then it was multiple units of Old Cores, and obviously with Horusk, they're going to be feated and be really hard. And he had Sabref, which is sort of a bit more of a mixed arms, had some Warjacks, some Old Cores, and some sort of solo utility. So I was a bit worried that Firequill wouldn't be able to punch through the armor sort of like 20 mass models that had tough, and Horusk is pretty resilient, so I wasn't confident I could assassinate him easily. So I dropped Ragemonger and Rear dropped Sabref. Um, on best laid plans, the left hand 40 millimeters ended up disappearing, and by turn 3 we had both destroyed each other's catches. So we were left with a flag that we were both scoring, and then two 50 millimeters in the middle, which are like next to each other, which we
yeah,
just brawled over for I think we until turn 5. My high armor in melee, so I think my Deepborn is armor 25 in melee, and
yeah,
Charm is armor 21 with Stubborn Drunk, quite hard to knock down to like pin down and having Liven. Paired with snacking, so when I was killing stuff, I was healing and I could force the Deepborn to regen. So basically, we sort of ground out a long game. I ended up getting sort of, I think there was only 1 unit of which is Sabref and Moloch, I think is the character
yeah,
for them. So that's what Rid had left, and I had a decent chunk of my army, so I had 70 points left.
yeah.
So Rid sort of said, I can't, I'm going to lose by scenario, so I'll stop here, which was quite interesting. So we had to find out what happens when someone concedes.
Yeah, because at the time as well, the points, the VP or the scenario points weren't that dissimilar. So it was a case of going and having a look through. I had to ask one of the attendees, a certain Matt Hart, to find the word concession in the Steamroller packet because I'd looked for it twice and couldn't find it. And we did eventually find it. You get 5 victory points, it said in there, so we just added 5 to your scenario point score. Yeah, it was a bit unusual. There was time left on the round. I think we'd had about 9 minutes left. I'd be surprised there was a concession, but if it was just, I don't know if he just wanted to go and grab a drink and go to the loo, he knew the time was up. But I think it was just a bit of a strange one because all the other games we had Matt and Robbie's game that lasted approximately 5 minutes, where Robbie accidentally left his caster wide open, who don't think he got dragged, or he might have got
No,
dragged.
I think it was just a Night Terrorist
Just
got in.
Night Terrors just charged in, and he just misplaced. And then Sherwin and Mark's game ended up being a win on scenario. It's winning on scenario, and then also a caster kill. Mark brought in some brought his Mastodon. But yeah, no, I think that was good. My game with Mike, because Mike only brought one list, I said to him, which list would you like to face? He had the option of my Tyrus double cats list or my Moraine big pig, heavily focused on the Ghost of Ios sub-faction, cadre, and he chose not to face the Ghost of Ios and Moraine because he was worried about the stealth. And then I ended up getting up on scenario and killing his caster with an Israfil take going and hitting Saverin on the face. So that was round one.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom says plays into Horus with the Colossal Lord. Yeah, I mean if he puts in Vibro Resolve on that bad boy, it's already hard to kill. Then he pops his feet. Yeah, super resilient. Nick said, "Yo guys, no Signar." So Nick, we only had 8 people. We didn't have any Signar present. No. We had Brian Bloods, we had Orgoth, we had Crix, we had Dusk,
Yep.
and we had Kador, and Shadowflame
Yeah.
Shard. So we had 6 factions out of the possible 8 army list for Mark IV, but
Yeah.
none of them were Sigma. So
Yeah.
fantastic. So that's round 1. Interesting with concessions because you get 5 VP, but you know if you sort of say you sort of end your turn 2 and you think, oh, I'm just gonna lose, you know, and and the opponent decides to concede. You don't get any army points. You know, so say it's like turn 2 and you think, oh, I'm just gonna get smashed on my turn 3. You know, you can deny your opponent quite a lot of army points and potentially victory points if you just decide I'm just gonna concede.
It was interesting to talk to Matt about it as well because even it was hard to find it in the document. I'm interested to talk to other tournament organisers and also find out for the Welsh Masters and Iron Gauntlet how that works out, because there is a potential that if you're silent back 4, if you're in a bad matchup, I don't want this to be the case, and this is only for like if people were trying to really rule shark it or really try and game the system. If you knew you were in an impossible matchup, you could concede. Could you be in a position where you could concede turn 2, where scores are quite similar, so you're not getting a massive negative to your VPs and things like that. I'd be interested to see what the internet says and what TOs do about that, because concessions are. I think they need to be part of the game, because sometimes you just need to say, actually, I'm sorry, I concede. It could be for personal reasons, whatever. But it'd be interesting to see how that works as a tier, and especially larger events. If I wouldn't want people to be able to collude or to try and work out the best way to work out later pairings or submarine up.
Yeah, interesting. And also, what I find interesting, if you assassinate your opponent's caster, you no longer get their battle group for army points.
Yeah.
Which so obviously you used to get their battle group if you get the caster. So
that came up as well with Matt killing Robbie, where he killed him quickly and said, "Oh, do we score?" I was like, "Yeah, but you score that the game ends and it scores immediately." So had he ran another unit over to another side, he could have got even more points before doing the kill.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So rattle round 1. So yeah, which says Brian Blood's got Orgoth, Crix got Kador, Dusk got Kador, and Shadowflame Shard got Kador. So sorry, Crix got Orgoth. So it was 2 Orgoth losses and 2 Kador losses in round 1. And the rest cracked on. So then we went to round 2. So currently undefeated, we have Matt, Sherwin, me, and you.
Yeah.
So going into round 2, was there any list you think, I don't really want to play that going into?
I did not want to face. I didn't want to face Sherwin's pair because the Kyrax list is doing what my Tyrus list is doing. So I feel like I have to drop the Tyrus list to threat extend and hit them with an alpha. I can't risk Moraine into Kyrax because Moraine won't stop him alphaing me. And there was a double Wyvern list, which was a concern because trying to get through the double Wyverns with, I can't remember his caster's name. Is it Shiz or Shirese?
Well, it's a really bad one for me to say because it's got a
okay,
17
so go for it.
but it's Cyrese. I won't say
Yeah,
I
we'll go
won't
with
say it
that.
again.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Shireen, I'm going to call her Chantel. Chantel, Chantel, her feat to say that there's no charging obviously counters Tyrus, but I thought with my Moraine list, I wasn't liking the odds of being able to shoot off much, and I was worried that the threat of the threat range of the Wyverns were going to be a problem. So yeah, I was not looking forward to that. I was, if I got you in round two, I was thinking I'll probably get shot off the table by Firequill, but at least be a quick game. I was actually really hoping for Matt because I wanted to face the Crix Horde with the Cephalix leader. I can't remember. I wanted to face that. I think that was the game I wanted round two, but I got paired into Sherwin and straight away because we've had one final where I lost. The first event I ran for Mark IV, I lost the final to him. I then beat him at your event. So it was round three of our montage battle, and yeah, managed to get a 5-2 scenario win. Was up on points destroyed as well. Tight. It was really tight though. He was massively behind on clock. So when I won on scenario, he had 21 seconds left, I believe, and I had 28 minutes. So it was gonna end.
Yeah. The Tom says nobody knows Cyber Snap. Cyber. Oh, I get it now. Cyber Snake Speak. So Kaitos. Yeah, we'll just call him Kaitos, whatever. So yeah. So you wanted to ideally you wanted to avoid Sherwin, and as I click onto round two, you got paired against Sherwin.
Yeah,
You play Tyrus in
yeah,
that
because it,
because you wanted to have a sort of like a you want to have
a
as much
threat
threat
element.
as he did.
Yeah,
And
and
Sherwin
also
dropped Cyrus.
no, yeah, Sharon George Cyrus, which was the right. I think because last time he played the Kyrax into me, and it was who could alpha who first, and I think he took the. I think he built the Wyvern list to try and counter my Tyrus, because obviously can't charge it. So he had a long turn one. I went first, and then his turn one, he spent a lot of time working out where he's positioning and if he was going to feat. He did choose to feat, but he still needs to work out his positioning because obviously my threat extension is quite good, and that is sunk into his time. And yeah, just and also when I did eventually go into the Wyverns, I killed one pretty easily, and the second one I charged him with a whole unit of cats and a Dawn Guard Seer or whatever they're called, and that was where the bad dice he had in our last game when you watched our game. I had the bad dice where on 3 dice I failed to roll above a 6 for several damage. But it happens, and that's nice. And also you got laugh at those moments. And thank goodness I said to him just before activating the unit, I'm gonna move Tyrus over here just in case this all goes wrong, and it went wrong.
Yeah, I mean like the cats with sort of battle lust when they charge are like 246 attacks against living, which makes them so potent. So yeah, I suppose really it was like a bit of cat and mouse between when he
Yeah,
feats and when you can commit, I suppose. And we
yeah.
but we were playing Trench Warfare on that one.
Trench warfare. Yeah,
Yeah. So I suppose it's not crazy high scoring. If you're not scoring your opponent's flag, you've only got a catch and a 50 mil you can score, so you can maybe afford to hang back and give your opponent a point or two. Um, nice. And then you said he had to use a lot of time on his clock for
yeah.
his round two, was it? Was it round two?
Yeah, round turn one, and then
Turn
turn
one.
two also took a long time, because I hadn't popped my feet,
Sure.
so I was intentionally trying to hold on to it, so I could get a really good strike with particularly the cat units, and some other parts of my army.
Nice. And then who went first in that one?
I did, yeah,
Yeah, okay. So you sort of he popped his feet turn one to try and somewhat lighten the alpha.
yeah,
Yeah, and then but you didn't feat your turn two, so you held.
no,
And then you
held.
got you got charges off turn two.
Yeah, got charged off turn two. I can't remember if I popped turn
Sorry,
two or
your
turn
turn
three.
three. You would have got charges.
My turn three, yeah. So my
Yeah,
turn three, I did my feet and charged in, I
yeah,
believe.
fantastic. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Cool. The table below we had a Orgoth off, no, a Kador off. Sorry,
Radar off,
with
and it was
Mark
a
and
it was
Mike.
yeah. I think from speaking to them, it was the Mastodon that Mark painted up within like 3 days or whatever. That looked fantastic, and that was just what ruled the roost there. I think he said at one stage he charged in and he killed like a 2 jacks and something else with focus to spare. Like it
Yeah,
was,
I mean superiority makes it surprisingly fast. I mean a threat is
yeah,
13 with superiority. I think Spirito is +2 Matt as well, so it definitely hits. And then I think he ran it with the axe
Yeah.
with critical
Roll
shred.
over. Yeah.
So if he gets a crit, he's got some free attacks. So
Yeah.
absolute monster. Nice. So the Mastodon sort of dictated that game. Then we
Yep.
had an Orgoth off, which looked like an absolute slugfest.
I think they got to turn 7. I'm pretty
Yeah,
certain.
yeah. We had Rid play Sabref again, and Robbie played Horosk in that one. So higher armor against utility of Sabref. That really ground out, and we got a Sabref win. Nick says in the chat, if you do concede, you will not win the tourney. No, you won't. That's valid.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
and then I played, so I paired into Matt because you were paired into Sherwin. Matt played Kaifos, which is the new Cephalix caster. I played Rangemonger again. My thought was he had a Viscerus as well, which is the your Warjacks get dig in. Both of them control 16, so none of them really had to be close to outside the kill box. And with
Yeah.
the 40 millimeter objective on the back that your caster can score, they're even less incentivized to move from the back of the board and sort of just score that objective themselves. So I wasn't confident that Firequill would be able to put any sort of pressure on the opponent's leader. And also was aware that there were sort of with Kaifos and Night Terrors, they're very good at killing warlocks. So if I tried to apply pressure with Firequill, I
Yeah.
was fairly sure I'd get killed back if it didn't go well. So I played Rage Monger, and Matt played Kaifos. That was the first time playing that guy. He's pretty mean. Um, Absolutely dumb turn one. For some reason, I thought his correct Jack the harpoon with speed 5, not 6. So I was like, oh, stay out of 15. Shum can't get dragged. I even have a shield guard for it. And then pass the turn, and then Matt walked 6, not 5, and then dragged Shum. So I played without Shum basically. It took a while to get him because he was stumbling drunk everywhere when he got
Really.
hit, but eventually he got boxed in by a unit of night terrors and killed. So
Yeah.
so Matt had a really solid turn two. He killed Jum, put basically his whole army in front of me. Used Kaifos's feet. So if you're corporeal or if you're not incorporeal, you're -3 to hit. Well, if I'm in his feet, -3 to hit. So I actually didn't do too bad on my turn two. I killed like two, three Night Terrors, one of the Criterions, two of the Furies, and I was feeling pretty good about that. Uh, but then on match turn three, the Night Terrors, which are incredibly hard to stop going where they want to go, got into Ragemonger. I camped, I think I camped two or three and put excessive healing up, but it spent through all my fury. I think I was left with 8 boxes. But I had Tantrum up, so I basically had a 3 inch move in my maintenance phase. And I think sort of Matt was maybe unawares or didn't know what Tantrum did or just had a moment. And after the Night Terror activation, he repositioned them out. So he let sort of unboxed Raidmonger rather than keeping him boxed, which let me on my turn with my 3 inch Tantrum with 3 inch Tantrum, a 5 inch move, snipe Raidmonger, and I dragged Kaifos on it. I needed a 10 to hit with a reroll, but I just got the 10, and then I was fortunate enough that I had a Diatrol to the left, which I could charge into Kaifos. So I ended up getting Kaifos. Outside of that, I was pretty done. I think I had like
Yeah.
a splatter in a Marauder crew left and
Yeah.
two heavy wall beasts on the left hand side, but there was sort of like a full unit of Night Terrors, a full unit of Criterions, three heavy Warjack. It was like I was way behind. So if I didn't get that, it was definitely a loss. And I think to be fair to Matt, he wasn't aware that you could drag a model through a forest. He thought you
Yeah.
stopped when you hit the forest.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate because maybe if he
Yeah.
knew that he would sort of have body blocked
I
uh,
think I
Kaifos.
think if it I think he made a point of saying that on Wednesday's next Warmachine update, that's going to be a specific rule change.
Yeah, that'll be on
With
Dragon
a big
Skewer.
yeah, with a big red italic saying "This is for you, Aaron." Get
Drags no longer go through forests. That's that done. But Kaifos is really interesting to play. That is a control 16 feet of like -3 to hit is pretty rough. And then the fact that if you miss a model, the Kaifos player gets to place a model. It was
Yeah.
really like a mental challenge to try and work out, well, if I miss this model here, what is he going to place and where?
Yeah.
And the Night Terrors are so good at killing your warlock and leader that yeah, it's a great feat. It's a great feat that you sort of on your turn you just say you're going to feat and that's it, and then your opponent has to do the mental gymnastics for you of how you're going to play against it.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a clock eater for me. Um, if I didn't get the assassination, I was definitely done. I think Kaifos is going to be really strong.
Yeah.
As long as you're not incorporeal, you're getting that feat, and you can turn Night Terror's corporal just by making attacks. So he's going to work really well with the Crick's army list. And the Night Terrors with sort of power of death, Scything Touch, Calamity, Carnage. I think at one point they were like effectively power 17, and then they've got Finisher.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then and there's a mat there. They're effective. I think they're at 11 when they charge. They've got their cavalry
Previously.
bonus. So like one
Yeah.
charges, it hits. They've all triggered finisher now, so they're all boosted. The charge is boosted, and I think they've got additional dice against living models on one of the attacks. It was pretty rough. So they were great. Matt played it really
Yeah.
well. Made one unfortunate mistake. I think
Yeah.
not really realizing I had the 3 inch extra move, and
Yeah.
then not also realizing that I could drag it into a forest.
Yeah.
So that leaves round three. Me and you have played, obviously. I'm not going to click
Yeah.
round three yet. Um, so going into it, I was really really scared of Tyrus double cats. Like it's a really tough. There's two like of the known tough matchup for Brian Bloods. Tyrus double cats is one, and the Cyrus with the double weave is another one. Like we knew that was gonna be rough. Sorry, Tom said it's similar to Infernal Zal's feat. Yeah, oh, Zat. Sorry, yeah. Sometimes you
Yeah.
need to not make attack against those feats. Yes, Tom. Actually, I made a conscious. I didn't let him place one model because I either attacked with models out the feat, or I only made attacks that were sort of like threes or fours to hit. I didn't make any attacks that I think were even like sixes to hit because I was worried that one 3 inch place would mean I was dead. So I agree. Sometimes you don't make attacks, and if you do make
Yeah.
attacks, you have to be pretty odds on that they're going to hit, not miss.
Yeah.
So I was worried about serious double weaving, and I was worried about Tyrus double cats. It ended up with me and you in the final. So uh, I was worried about Tyrus double cats. How about you get into the final?
I was worried you were going to drop Firequill and shoot me to death. Because every game we've played with Firequill, he has killed me. Even I might have been up on scenario, I might have been in a better, pretty good position, thinking I'm going to be healthy, and it's like, no, I'm dead. I was
So
really worried.
yeah, we did do one practice game, and it was like I think it was 75 points at the time. I
Yeah.
was playing. I tried Shadow Tongue into Tyrus double
Yeah.
cats, and your combination of the like arcane vortex with the shield guard
Yeah.
plus one cat unit I can't drag. I found really tough. We never played Fire Quill into Tyrus yet.
Yeah. But
Um,
Moraine has died
yeah,
every time. And
yeah. I
I
think
would usually want to drop Moraine in. I think if a pairing didn't have Firequill, I'd want to drop Moraine because I think you mentioned mortality is amazing. Like
yeah.
that's the thing. I want to get it off, obviously, but because you had Firequill, I didn't want to risk her dying, and it wasn't because I thought that Tyrus was going to survive. It was just because I've got a couple of shield guards, so hopefully
Yeah,
that would help.
yeah. So I
Um,
I I didn't want to play Fire Quill because well because I played against the Tyrus list before and I think we played 75, but at
yeah,
100 I think you may have added a Eidolon and a couple more support models. So it was very
yeah,
similar to the list we had played. Uh, I wasn't confident on Assassin on Tyrus because of the 6 shield guards makes it a bit tougher.
yeah,
Obviously you can also screen Tyrus with cats. So
yeah,
you could just put cats in front of him, and you could put the Viable Resolve unit in the front, so I can't even move them.
yeah,
Um, and a Reef Troll outside of the feet is like one power 13 shot, so I might kill one cat, 2 cats a turn, but obviously I'm not dealing them with your heavies or. So I wasn't really
yeah,
confident in Fire Quill. So I end up playing Ragemonger, and you end up playing Tyrus. So
yeah,
let's go to a click round three, and we'll see the result. And we're up. So we can see that it was a win for Sir Harwood. Congratulations, buddy, and well played. We played Ragemonger into Tyrus.
yeah.
Uh, we were playing two fronts.
Two fronts, best scenario, the one that you love the most, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Favorite scenario. And so I gave you turn one because I
Yeah,
wanted to pick a flag. So you do because I'm very well like you're not only an excellent scenario player, but Tyrus Double Cats plays scenario very well.
yeah,
So I didn't want to let you give you a flag to score one up every turn, as well as the scoring you might do elsewhere.
yeah,
So that's the reason I picked to go second. You went first. I had a big building in the middle of my deployment, which in hindsight maybe wasn't the best because I've got a small control when we're very spread, but that is what it is.
yeah,
So you had first and you sort of ran up,
yeah,
did your thing, put your spells out, ran as
yeah,
fast as you could because I didn't really have any threat on you turn one because my list isn't super fast. I've got a couple of drags, but that's about
yeah,
it. I think on my turn one, I was super sort of cautious in where I moved everything. I was sort of tried to stay out of your feated cat's threat and mirage and all of it. I did sort of give up a Marauder Crew Quartermaster to do a couple of sprays against your assassins in forest.
yeah. Killed three of them, which
Yeah, I
was
did throw. I needed eight, so I thought I might kill one or two, and I managed to get three, which was above what I
yeah,
should have got. So I killed three assassins, but you still had
yeah,
two left in one unit and one left in the other. So that was not,
yeah,
so you still had three dudes. I think that apart from that, it was a very, very. I think my Vrogger ran like 1 inch turn one, didn't it? To stay out of your cat feated threat.
yeah.
Your turn two,
It's my
you
turn too.
you go.
I chose not to defeat because you stayed. It would I could have defeated and got one or two things, but I thought no, I'm going to show what I'm going to do. I'm going to send in my Blade Masters or whatever they're called, the Soulless Blade Masters, because I could give them desperate pace, and I got them in. I sent a couple of Mage Hunter Assassins in, and I just positioned on the scenario. But importantly, I tried to position so you couldn't get in on me. So it was still a case if you couldn't threaten me, I was a little bit further up the board. I was in a good scenario position, but also I've still got my feet to attempt to smash my face for turn three. I positioned um, uh, Kruger on the left with the 40 mil objective. I didn't score my own 40 mil in your turn three, your turn two. Part of that was intentional because I thought I don't mind not scoring that and being a point down that side because I've got the right side. I felt like I had pretty locked down for me, and also I was still threatening my feet for wherever your castles can go or whatever came in. I importantly as well, I prayed your is it Froggers or
Yeah,
the
they're both prayed. Yeah,
they both prayed, and I managed to take, and I also managed to take out um, the totem pole Crash Bandicoot esque
yeah,
thing. Um,
yeah. Kruger and the sniper dude killed that on the right
yeah,
hand side.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was
And
so that's yeah,
the Soul Blade dudes killed all but two of them Marauder Crew.
yeah,
Yeah, and an assassin as well because he became
yeah,
incorporeal. Yeah, nice. So yeah, didn't feat, which I made, which makes sense because I think all you would have done is feated and ran the cats just to contest stuff, but you wouldn't have
yeah,
got anything. That's fair enough. So my turn two, it didn't really go too badly. There was really two mistakes I definitely made. So one, I put Fortify on some because I was worried that Kruger and the sniper team would target him with attack and just stumbling drunk him away. Uh, in hindsight, I could have just sort of used the galley crew to block to stop him being pushed, and put Fortify on the Diatrol because that's where your Eidolon was with a repulsor shield, and that would let me play around that. So that was a mistake. And I also sort of put Ragemonger forward to cast a petition to move Shum forward, but in hindsight, on the right hand side where Israfil,
Israfil was yeah,
I was able to drag him with a Vroga anyway. So I didn't need the 5 inch move because some could have just charged him wherever he landed anyway. So I put Razemonger up like a couple of inches out of kill box. I was still pretty close to kill box, but I had a few inches I could have gone back. Um, I did a petition to move Shum up. I defeated. So on the right hand side, I killed Israfil with the drag and Shum. And then I moved some Marauder crew under the feet because on the unviable resolve cat unit, I'm dice -2 with
yeah,
my Marauder crew, and I have my feet for ones and sixes. So I thought I might kill one or two. I killed one.
One.
But
Yeah, yeah.
you
Killed
had two
one.
shield guards as well. So
Yeah,
I think I killed one with the Marauder crew. And on the left hand side, I dragged the Eidolon. I think I did some damage to it, but because of the repulsor shield, I
yeah,
got a crit and slammed it away because I was
yeah,
going to be pushed away anyway. Because I didn't put my fortify on the dude, and I killed some of the uh, two of the soul dudes maybe.
yeah,
Um, yeah, cool. So that was pretty much my turn too. So definitely my mistake was I didn't need the petition. So it did Razorback didn't need to be. I could have hung on the Ezekiel box, and
yeah,
also I could have sort of camped more and put up excessive healing. So they're really, I think they were the two big mistakes. I mean, the fortify on the fella wasn't great, but that didn't really make any difference to the actual result of the
yeah.
game in your turn three. Um, so that was that, and then it was your turn three.
So looking at turn three, I thought, right, I've got a feat here. Looking at, I knew that the cats could get in on your caster, but I noticed you had 3 transfers, and I wasn't liking that because unlike war casters that can only reduce damage by 5, obviously a transfer could be any number. So if I spike a roll, it might be brilliant, but you could just get rid of all of it. So I popped my feet to also. I also chose not to pay the focus to stand up my Eidolon at the start of my maintenance phase or in my control phase, because I would pop my feet to be able to place him into combat range. And did my feet to sort of move people around. I then used Kruger to do 2 fully boosted sprays into your cart, into Ragemonger. Obviously sprays can't be shield guarded. And I think you took both damage, or you might have
I think
transferred
I took
one.
one and I transferred one.
Yeah. So I was like, right, okay, that's 1 transfer down, but also you're a fire. Okay, that might make it a bit better. So I had feated. I put battle lust on the unit of 3 cav, and obviously Tyrus's feat is not just the 2-inch places. Models units that start in his control range gain ghostly, which I think you hadn't clicked with or hadn't
No,
realised.
I think because the one time we played against Tyrus,
Yeah,
the ghostly never
never
mattered.
came up. Yeah, it wasn't an
So
issue,
you
was it?
placed, and I was like, okay, your feet's 2-inch place, cool.
Yeah,
And then that was that. So I didn't,
yeah,
I'm sure you told me last time we
yeah,
played that, yeah, ghostly. But because
yeah,
I was just not, I wasn't aware because I was ignorant that they also gave ghostly.
yeah.
Because I had put a unit Marauder crew sort of
Like as a
like
screen.
fanned out in front of
Yeah,
Ragemonger. I thought, oh, maybe you could kill them with like, because you had one
yeah,
unit of 2 and one unit of 3. But maybe if
yeah,
a unit of 2 can't fully kill the unit, it might make it awkward for you to get in. But obviously, because there was a clear gap, there was like a Marauder crew gap, Ragemonger. It was very easy for you to fit your models in.
yeah. And then obviously then 3 we had to measure it with proxy bases, which again is the right thing to do. But I could get all 3 cav in, and I believe it was the
I think
second
you
or
had one spare attack. I think.
yes, I think it was the second cav. Again with battle lust, with poison on their tails. Yeah, it's just one, and cavalry charge as well, like we said
Yeah,
earlier.
and
With
yeah, because again, also I put set defense on Ragemonger, sort of again forgetting that you're gonna have. I mean, I should have done it anyway because
oh yeah,
seven
it was definitely right call.
seven instead of 9 is better. But I sort of
Yeah,
again sort of forgot that you're gonna have boosted attack rolls anyway. So I thought, mean the 9s might mean you miss your charge attacks, but obviously they're boosted, so no.
yeah,
So yeah, that was a really decent assassination win for you.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, I think the only thing I could have done was hang on here to kill box
yeah,
and camp less. Oh, sorry, camp more and put up excessive healing.
yeah,
But if that happened and you killed all my Marauder crew and maybe the right hand side cats kill my Varroga or my Deepborn,
yeah,
it might have been lost anyway. So it's hard to say. But it was a solid assassination for you. A few mistakes from me, but you nailed it. So you got the 3-0.
yeah.
Elsewhere, we had a Robbie against Mike. So again, Mike, our newest player. Robbie,
So
probably our
yeah, he's
second guy with
playing
least
like Mark
practice.
too, isn't he? But yeah,
Yeah,
Robbie. I'm looking back here. I think I must have put the scores in wrong. So Robbie did win on scenario, but he got 10, and it was Mike that got 6. I was looking at the scenario. I must have just got
sure,
muddled.
sure.
That seemed to go for quite some time. I think they're two newer players. They had a good game. I think it's one of the things where just going through the scenario element, pausing the clock, which is the right between rounds when the scoring. I think it was the right choice, but also then cutting to time. That's made them take a little bit longer. They did well. Matt Matt did his feat against Mark, and Mark said that he just could. He fell into the trap of trying to do lots and everything failing, and then he got assassinated. And then Sherwin beat Rid, and from what I saw, there was lots of carnage happening. But Sherwin took his Kairos list, and that does what it does, where it just alphism kills lots of stuff.
Yeah, I think that was Horus against Kyrax, and they just absolutely thrashed it in the middle of the board. Like I say, Matt, I think, got some Night Terrors into not Jacoba, that's not her name. Is it Renata? Yeah, got some Night Terrors into her, and I think actually he may have even dragged her first, and then got some stuff into her. So yeah, so that was the end of the event. I think everyone had a great day in general. I think it was a really.
So have you got the photo of the gang?
I can get that up. Where shall I get that up?
I don't know if you posted it.
Yeah, I probably posted it somewhere. I mean, you know me.
Everyone had a great time. We were able to get. We're very fortunate that some people that attended provided a couple of bits of extra prize support. So I bought medals and printed off my amazing certificates. But then we also had some dice donated for best sport, which is won by Rid. I think best sport is one that personally I think should always get a lot of praise and should get the best prize support, because if only one person can win, but we've all got the opportunity to be best sport, and that's a great one. We had some great painted models as well, which I'm sure we'll talk about in the hobby section. We also were lucky enough to have some artwork from Gen Con, I believe. Oh no, not from Gen Con, from Adepticon, and that was brought over, and that people could grab as well. So it was really, it was a great event.
Yeah, it was a fantastic day. I think everyone had a good time. Everyone left with a smile. There was no hard feelings or anything at the end of the day. Everyone played in the right spirit. All in all, great day at Warmachine. I think you're thinking of doing some sort of 50 points. Doubles.
50-point doubles. Try and get as more of the newer players in as well, because and also then increasing, because of the we had a 9 o'clock start and a 6 o'clock hard finish with our venue, which makes it really awkward to do sort of 4 rounds at 100 points with a lunch break and things, because games won't start till 9:30 usually, and everything needs to be packed away by 5:45, so it just makes it really awkward. So we're going to do probably 3 rounds again and 50 points. But everyone had fun. Everyone was smiling. Everyone, there was one really small child though in the photo. I don't know if you've noticed this.
Unbelievable how small I look here. Genuinely unbelievable that it looks like I've been taken to work for the day by everyone else.
I mean, the thing is, if we'd taken this photo 12 years ago, every one of us would have been much thinner. And
for sure. It's not even like the width. It's the literal height. It's just unbelievable.
I didn't think you were the shortest person in the room, but
I didn't till I saw this, and now we know it. Tom said Dan with a big smile. Dan is always happy, but he is happiest when he's winning, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, it was easy getting a bye round 3, as I said to my opponent before the game. My opponent was pre-brewed before the game. There was no really good sportsmanship. He really should have watched this. He should have watched a video that we did a couple of live videos ago about how to be a better sport.
And also he should really read how Ghostly works.
As soon as I said the word ghostly, were you like, oh, fuck?
Yeah. I was like, oh, sorry, what? Ghostly, sorry? Where's that bit coming from? No, it was good. It was good. Did you think when I was lining up my roller crew, like, what are you doing? When I was putting my roller crew in a fan, were you thinking, why is he putting them there?
I was thinking, am I going to fall for some trap that I don't know about? Because I hadn't played against Charm, and there was a couple of models we haven't played against. You've not only used Ragemonger once against me, so I was like,
and that was against Maury.
I was like, am I gonna do this, and something's gonna backfire, and it's gonna, retaliatory strike, teleport to another side of the room, and throw a shark at me or something.
Yeah, no, it turns out I was just an idiot. There was no secret. Tom says Sherwin as a dad. It looks more like a crazy scientist, I think, with her hair uh, and everything else. Anyway, that was a fantastic day. So we're gonna go through the lists. Ironically, we're gonna go through our own two lists, which is a bit self-gratuitous, but we are gonna go through the top three lists of the players there. And we're gonna run through. I mean, it's very easy at least to talk about our two lists because we wrote them.
Yeah,
And then the other one is going to be Sherwin's, which we've both
yeah.
played both lists, so we can. Well, I've not played Cyrus, but I played Kyrax, so we know what's going on.
Yeah.
So do you want to run through? You got Moraine and Tyrus. Moraine first. Give us a brief overview of what's going on.
Moraine, big focus for me is the ability once per turn when a friendly Ghost of Arse infantry model is destroyed, and we have to cast a spell for free. So I always make a point of going through that at the start of the game because I don't want someone to get caught out by Spirit Door when they attempt assassination, where I teleport next to a Warjack. But the thing that it can also do is put up things like deceleration or putting out Battle Lust ready for a unit that can charge the next turn, and also can hot swap some quick things. I really like Moraine. Moraine's the caster I played the most because when Steamforge took over and there was that time waiting for shipping to happen after it been big orders, I managed to get hold of their cadre box from a local online retailer. So I played a load of her. I really love her. I've been trying her Big Pig more for the fact that I got Big Pig, and looking through the lists, Moraine's the place for Big Pig to be housed because she debuffs the enemy, and obviously there's no longer friendly model buffs. It's all friendly faction, so he can't be buffed in any way. So it's just I'm debuffing my opponent and then trying to get the most out of him. Yet to get the most out of him, you've beaten me with Ragemonger and Firequill when I've taken my Moraine list. And it seems that Moraine list might be a little bit impotent, or not impotent. It's more the fact that she just dies. So the rest of the list can do bits, but she also has a lot of threat. I really like that list. I will definitely be playing it again, but it just didn't happen to fall at this weekend's event for me to put into people. If Mike had brought only one list, I would have dropped Moraine into him, but because he only had one list, and I said, look, you have the choice because it's you've only brought one list, I'm going to let you choose what you want to face. But Moraine would definitely be a better matchup into Saverin, because the Fog of War can obviously give stealth, which will help on the way in, and then also I can remove his upkeep spells and I can try and take out units at a time pretty easily. So that's that list. And the second list is the Tyrus list, a T100 list. I love Tyrus's model. I love Tyrus's play. I love the fact that late game when you can go in with go into combat with him and play Flashing Blade and get a load of fury or get a load of focus above your stat also helps. But the big thing there is it's a delivery system for the cav. It's a delivery, putting the Desperate Pace Dawn Guard Skier in there is to increase the threat range of both the Blade Masters and the Shield Guard unit. The Shield Guard unit, I just said Shield Guard, but they actually got some work done this weekend because they got that 2-inch melee. It's power 10. It's pathetic, but it's better than nothing. And sometimes being able to charge in and do that little bit extra damage is great. I put Kruger in with him because I was finding that I didn't have pretty much any guns in the list, but also I wanted something that could just go off on its own and not need to be within the feet. And obviously he can't be affected by it. Tyrus is, for me, is a powerhouse. I love him. Love the model, and putting Israfil with him is something that I've played around with. So when Israfil had 3-inch melee, it was obviously he was almost an auto include for most dust lists. I'm tempted to swap it out for just a double Eidolon. I love the Eidolon. I love the Eidolon with the shield. I love the Eidolon with the free upkeep spells with the arcane head. I used to do it a lot with flight, and flight I used to find worked really well, especially with the breakthrough card. So you could then fly, you could engage, and then you fly over and then sort of attack a caster. But yeah, they're my two lists. I've played Tyrus all day at your event last time. Played Tyrus all day at the event yesterday. But before that, I played Moraine in my first event of the year. I played Moraine in 2 games and Tyrus in 1. So it's matchup dependent. Moving forward, I'd like to be playing more Cyrofil. I love Cyrofil's new changes and how she's now more balanced. Beforehand, the feat was far too good. And Hazaroth, I think, is a place where you've got to have him at higher points because he wants the big chunky models to be able to heal. And obviously lower points, it's a struggle. Yes, that's me and my dust lists.
Kruger's quite nice as well to clear out a screen, and
Yeah,
obviously with Ghostly not always necessary, but you could clear out like some models in a way that stop you placing your cav. And like you say, completely independent, doesn't necessarily need defeat. There's a nice model to hang on a flank and self-sufficient. So I really like Kruger. Um, yeah, excellent. So there's your two Dusk lists. Both really great. I was running Captain Firequill and Bragan Ragemonger. Firequill has two Diatrolls which sort of have got a different gun. One's got like an AoE K knockdown. One's got a Squid which sprays. Two Reef Trolls which sort of have got a 30. I think it's a yeah, it's range 12, power 13 gun which is AoE 2. Really great with the feet. They go to power 15 and have arcing fire, so they ignore models for line of sight. So that packet really is what gets most of the work done. Even if your thing's got stealth, the boosted blast roll kills it, which I think we found when we were practicing against Dusk. That was part of the problem. Like I was just blasting off made assassins and that because even if I don't hit, I can still kill them with a blast boosted roll. Um, and then I've sort of got some Fire Guardians for magical weapons, Madame for a free upkeep, and Puppet Master. Morga for enliven. Ancillary attack works well with Firequill because even though you can't boost the roll, once someone's flared and feated, your guys are like effective at 10, so you may hit anyway. A couple of
yeah,
Marauder crew that sort of shoot and there for to score the scenario. Two big two pig boarding party, which are fast to become like MVPs for me. It's a great unit. Often ambush them to play scenario, and two pig galley crew, which some sort of like old Scorn Beastmasters, which can remove fury and
yeah.
uh
I think the pigs are the problem for my faction, I know we've had one game where you just ambushed them and ran them in, and I'd failed to kill them for 3 turns. I think they, in combat with a melee attack, managed to kill a whole unit of mates
yeah.
resistance.
Yeah, I used them like a bunch of dudes in a trench, and I sort of ambushed. I think they walked, and then maybe I did hit and run, and then got them in awkward positions, and they stood there for ages. Yeah, so I think
Yeah,
they're hard to kill, and also they've got blast again. So if I miss onto sort of like a assassin or the shooty
yeah,
guys that have got prowl, they probably still kill the models. So they're a real pain, and they're a real pain to kill. And Firequill is just an absolute monster at killing leader models because he's got
yeah,
Fortune Hunter for anyone's character. So the reason I didn't play that against you is because the shield guards make it tough, and he would have a hard time killing the cavalry. So played Ragemonger. Ragemonger has got Shum, because he gives Shum unyielding, so his base armor 21. A Deepborn Diatrol that's got like a tanky, so his armor 21 base. Which Ragemonger gives you unyielding, so his armor 23 base in melee. We can fortify him to make him armor 25. A Reef
nice.
Troll for snipe, so I can throw the harpoon a bit longer and drag people in, and Shield Guard, so I can because if someone's got one drag or someone's got an Aris to remove Fury, you can at least Shield Guard that. Couple of Viroggers for more drags, so there's 3 drags in the list total. Then it's got the same solo setup, same unit setup. I haven't got the pig boarding party. Um, he's much more of like a melee brawler. The melee the beasts in melee are quite high armor, and the two Diatrolls can snack. So if you're sort of playing against living models and they're struggling to get through your armor, as you kill them back, you're going to be healing. That was my two. I only played Ragemonger all day actually, so similar to you. I only played one Warlock all day. Um, yeah, I played sort of like a very high armor list game run, and then a couple of Warcasters that can stay very far back round two. Then round three, sort of the amount of times we played against Moraine now, I was fairly confident you were going to play Tyrus, and I wasn't really sure that Firequill could take Tyrus, so we played Ragemonger. And I think if I'd played maybe correctly in turn two, would have been really interested to see how the game went from turn three onwards, because I think it would have been a big gold scrap, which would have been cool.
Yeah,
Um, so that was me and yours list. I think I'm going to keep playing these for May. 'Cause I'm going to a Steamroller in May in London. and then I'm probably gonna switch to something. Probably, to be practical, if I'm honest with you, I'm probably gonna have to switch to what I'm gonna play for the Welsh Masters because that needs to be painted.
Yeah.
Um, so I might as well get practicing with those lists and get them painted. And then
Yeah.
Sherwin, he came third because of strength of schedule. Has got Cyrus, which is really it's two Wyverns, the Shades, which are Fortune Hunter models, which have got Critical Heart Seeker. They're super fast. They're super hard to lock down, but they hit very hard on the characters. A unit of Cinderbacks, which sort of like a shoot, a fire, they're AoE. And then the rest of the list, I got unit of Talon Lashes as well, so they do some
Yeah.
stuff in melee. And then the rest of the list really is to support the two Wyverns. You've got
Yeah.
Vipex with Hunter's Mark, so +2 speed, charge for free. Belagal for the +2 damage, so they're like power
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
You got the Shadow Lancers, which can condition stuff. And you got Achilles, which is the character from Shadow and Scum. So he's just a standalone character. And then we've got Kyrax with double Drakion, which are the guys that have got they slam you when they hit you. I can't remember what we're all called, but they
Yeah.
slam you when they hit you.
It's might.
It's not crit. They just do it whenever they hit you. So it might just be smite. I don't know. It's not smite.
Yeah.
It's not a special attack. Every time they hit you, they slam you.
Okay.
I can't remember what it's called. Skylar, who has got the Animus excessive healing, which is really useful for Kyrax. So he's quite aggressive. And then Wravewing Paragons, which I think are the fellows which reduce your shooting range if you're near them. The Incarnate Knights, which are like just really, really tanky. I think their
Yeah.
base armor 17. They're battle driven, so they go up to
Yeah.
19. They're 10 boxes each.
Yeah.
Really hard to kill. Shades again, which are just really hard. They're really maneuverable, good at killing characters. Talon Death Dealers, which I think are the little Wolverine guys in the two claws, and then Talon Lashers, 2 units of them as well. So that list is all about like a really big alpha. The feat gives you cleave, so you're getting a lot of attacks out of the models you have left. Skylar can return models to a unit if it kills it, so you can return. So you've got a bit of recursion as well. So it sort of grinds you down. Skylar sort of gives you a bit of long-term recursion, and it slaps. It really, really hits hard when it comes in.
Yeah.
They're our top
I
three.
think it's got. I think is isn't it his upkeep spell that's like boosted damage rolls.
He's got one spell which I think is Vortex of Destruction, which is if you're in Kyrax's melee range, you're attacking someone in Kyrax's melee range, you get boosted damage rolls. So wherever he goes in and engages, he's going to get boosted
Right.
damage rolls. His feat is the +2 mat and the cleave essentially for model team background. Um, Tom said smite. Oh yeah, so it's not crit smite. They just have smite
Yeah.
on every single attack. So every time they
Yeah.
attack, they slam. Okay, that makes sense. Excellent. I think we'll wrap the event up there. We'll go
Yeah.
through some hobby on the Discord if you want to join me
Yeah.
doing that,
Yeah.
and then we'll probably wrap it up there. So let's check out what we've got going on hobby wise. Rather embarrassingly, the first one we're going to look at since we looked at last time is I played a game with a friend who's sort of getting back into the game. So it's more and more of a game of we're going to move models and just make sure you understand what's going on. But
Yeah.
quite coolly, I could play a fully painted army, which for me, honestly, uh, I can't really recall the last time. I know it's only 50 points, so we're not playing a 4 point game, but I
Yeah.
can't really recall the last time I was able to put an army on the field that I painted myself, like fully. So that's
Yeah.
really cool. I really like how they look together. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Then we've got Nick's update on Plugger. We've got sort of a
Yeah.
blue Gravedigger scheme, which is quite interesting because they've sort of the box art is like an inverse where you've got like grey plates and then blue in the other areas,
Yeah.
where we've gone for like a blue plates and we've got metallic in the other areas.
Yeah.
So Nick, that looked really nice, lovely work, mate. And then Nick has got some more progress on the Rowdies, I think, are the character unit.
Yeah.
And then
They were looking
don't
great.
I don't know what that was. I don't think it's a Valiant, but it may be a Valiant.
Yeah.
And they're coming along really, really nicely, Nick.
Yeah.
Oh wow! And then below that we've got a model of mine again. We've got a booty boss. That guy had so much stuff on that model. It was unbelievable. He's just got stuff everywhere. But I suppose that's why he's the boss of the booty. And I love the little pig in the chest. Like every time
Yeah.
I find a pig on a model, it's great. More pigs,
Yeah.
please. We've got Tom. with some really awesome. I want to say these are Man of War Annihilators, but I
Yes, I
don't.
believe so. Um,
Um,
the the contrast from the deep red and those white, those the lighter white sections is great. I think the choice of basing as well works really well for them. Love those models.
yeah, Tom, they look fantastic. Lovely work. Then I've got some photos from the event. They were like four out of eight fully painted armies. I think it's pretty good. Everyone
I
else
mean,
who
mine,
were,
mine was fully
yeah,
painted. I didn't leave mine out.
no, yeah. So I mean, like
Um,
5 out of 8, and then the rest who weren't fully painted, sort of me, Robbie, and Mike. Well, but
yeah,
I would say we're more than half painted. So we were very
yeah,
close, really, to a fully painted event, which is, I think,
yeah,
fantastic. We've got Rid Orgoth, which just look lovely. We then got the Mastodon in the next photo. Mark has
yeah,
done such a good job in such a short amount of time with this army. It's absolutely wild.
yeah.
So yeah,
He,
like the red that he's chosen is like it's not like a attack is not the right word, but it's not a really in the face red, but it's
yeah,
not too dark a red that it doesn't pop. So really, really
yeah.
great red he's got going on.
He
Uh,
interestingly he does a lot of work with he primes brown and then does airbrushing, and I think this is where again
mm.
the benefits of airbrushing, you can just see those really clean blends,
Yeah, and also you
highlights.
can on the Mastodon's leg, you can sort of see on the right hand leg to us that it's sort of browner at the bottom and then it gets redder as it goes. So without actually any shading, he's sort of got like he's got shading without actually doing it. He's got
Yeah,
the contrast of brown to red as a gradient of color. That's really the word I was looking for. He's got a gradient of color just by the two different colors and spraying it. So Mark, your stuff looks wicked, mate. Then we've got Sherwin's Chimera, which are quite hard to
I don't
the photo doesn't do them
I don't
justice.
think the
It's got
picture's doing it justice at all.
like a sort of really deep purple, which is sort of highlighted, then sort of black
Yeah,
plates, and then blue spikes, which again are highlighted really nicely. So it's really
I
hard
think
to
if you
photo it.
I think if you'd have taken a photo from the other side, because I think it's just because we've got the natural light source behind them that's
Yeah.
caused that shadow. But I mean, they were my vote for best painted. I know that Mark won it with his Kador when we did the vote, but I thought I loved the blue accent on this, and it had taken a long time to do some shading and blending, and the basing as well. As most of Sherwin's armies have always been, or they, no, all of them have been. They've been really well painted.
Yeah.
Um,
Annoyingly, he's good at the game and paints really well. It's frustrating.
yeah,
And then we've got Matt's Cricks, which you've sort of got the Night Terrors and the Crick side of the army with the Malefactors and the Furies and the Necrosets and Initiates and the Lightjack. And you got the Cephalax with Kyphos. They're called the Criterions, the unit, and I don't unfortunately know the names of the two solo boys. But the OSL, sick. And Kyphos's
Yes.
blood stuff.
Yeah, technical blood, isn't it?
I think it's like resin that he's cured, but not cured
Yeah,
it so it's hard, so it's got a tiny bit of give. Yeah, look amazing. So I think all in all,
interesting.
higher standard of
Yeah,
hobby uh, on display.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, Matt's is it's more of a sort of concept scheme, but he managed to paint probably that entire army in about 15 hours, I think he said.
Yeah,
So it's mental.
yeah, that is really really cool. So oh, my Discord just completely jumped from where I was to.
Oh,
Uh,
Nick's got some lovely Black 13th.
yeah, so Nick's been working on his Black 13th. He's put up some progress shots. Looking really cool. I really like the blue, the gradient of color from like the lighter blue to the dark blue looks really nice, mate. Keep that up. And then we got Dr. Ether with some more Cephalax, which are looking
Yeah,
absolutely beastly.
that skin tone's great.
That skin is wild good. The
Really
amount
is.
of I say cream to sort of reddish shades to the purple shades. Yeah, that is awesome, man. And then Nick's got his sort of
It's
really
finished.
progressive Black 13th and a crate in front. And Nick, they're looking fantastic, man. Keep your work up on the Gravedigger because they're looking fantastic. Dr. E5, Cephalax looking sick. Tom, your cradle just keep looking awesome. All in all, really, really great hobby from everyone. And I think, my man, we're done for the week.
I think that's it.
I think so. Really good
Thinking,
event. From
yeah,
any closing thoughts this week?
I think we had a great time. The terrain, it looked good. I'm still, like I said, got some more bits to add to it. I think it's interesting to sort of seeing some of the mechanics of the steamroller. Like I say, we're looking for that concessions part. Longshanks worked really well until between round 2 and 3. I
Yeah,
spent
until
about
it
15
didn't.
minutes to
Yeah.
fix it. But that was all fine. I think I don't know if it's because it was a Saturday, so whether there's lots of events being run on Longshanks, and it just overpowered. But otherwise, yeah, it went really smoothly. Looking forward to it again. Looking forward to your next event. And yeah, it was just great to see everyone together. Those smiles at the end, and just being able to have a laugh. And I think one benefit we had as well with having 3 rounds is that we could have that bit of a bit of time in between, even though it was starting to get a bit tight. We could have a drink. We could have it was beautiful weather. It was a great day just to get together and play games. And Warmachine's a great game to play with your mates as well, which always
Yeah.
helps.
I think that photo sums it up. Some dudes,
Yeah,
doesn't have to be dudes, but certain dudes, but some people that
yeah.
are all had a great day, all had smiles on their faces. That's what it's all about.
I
Thank
think.
you. Oh yeah, Karen, you go, you go.
Oh, it's also going to, I think, obviously in the lead up to the Welsh, there's a lot of us that went there that are going to go to the Welsh. We're hoping to represent. Obviously, Aaron's going to be fully kitted out, fully endorsed from the channel with hoodies, jumpers. He's
Yeah.
handing out badges as well. And we're going to try and show that us Southerners are probably not as bad at Warmachine as some other people in the country think.
Yep. We're coming for you, Northerners. Making our mark. No, it's gonna be great. Welsh gonna be great.
Yeah,
It's gonna be reminiscent of when we previously went. There's actually like a big group of us going now. So that's fantastic. So yeah, thank you everyone who joined the chat. We really like doing this weekly. It's a great catch up for me and Dan, and it's great to interact with you guys. Dan, thank you for your time, mate. It's been lovely as always.
thank you very much.
And until